Hey gang, if you've been paying attention for the past few months, which why should you? Because I don't either, then you'll notice, or you will have noticed, that I've been talking about the devices that produce all this sound. But what about the devices that deliver the sound? That's right, I'm not talking about receivers or tape decks or CD players or phonographs or 8 tracks or reel-to-reels, or you get it, the things that have the music in them. I'm talking about the things that, like I said, deliver the music, the speakers. So since I'm rocking a Radio Shack shirt, I'll be talking about a pair of Radio Shack speakers, and I think this might be my final Radio Shack and or realistic video I'll be making, unless I find something else. But this is the end of all of my realistic / Radio Shack gear. Want to find out more? Big Mike, kick the intro song for these fine folks at home, or wherever they may be.
He got into vintage audio a year ago, but there's a lot of things he still doesn't know, so he started up a channel on YouTube, and here he is now, the Vintage Newbie.
Thanks, boys. So today, I'm going to be discussing a pair of speakers that I found at a local thrift store about a week or so ago. They are bookshelf speakers, roughly 11 by 17 inches, maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe I should have measured them. But yeah, they look about 11 by 17 and about 7-8 inches deep. They are the realistic MC-1401 bookshelf speakers. They're two-way speakers. They got a woofer, they got a tweeter. They also have a port. But do you just want to hear me talk about it? Or do you want to see them? Well, here they are in their natural habitat, folks. See the realistic badge there. And I got it at a thrift store that on occasion does have some cool stereophonic equipment. It's where I got these realistic Minimus 7 speakers that were in a previous video. Remember that? You don't? Alright, well, yeah, these were there too. And for the price of $25, I plugged them in, hooked them up to a receiver that they had there, and they sounded good. So I said, all right, cool. So that's them. They're sitting on some speaker stands that somebody had posted on Marketplace for free. There were these big Sony speakers, but one of the speakers was gutted, and the other one I think just sounded like shit and maybe had a blown tweeter. So I tossed those, but I took the speaker stands off because, hey, speaker stands are cool, and they usually cost anywhere between $20 and $200. So free beats all of that, even $20. Because you know what? That $20 plus another $5 bought me a pair of speakers to get on it. Alright, well, the other one has the grill cloth pulled off, so let's cut over to it, okay? Thanks. And here it is, with the grill cover removed. See, the little parts that fit into it are slightly adjustable, so I guess that maybe reduces the risk of them snapping off and breaking if you are pulling or pushing the grill covers on. So that's cool, because these Advents have removable grill covers, but they are stationary. They do not move like these little realistic ones do. And if I'm wrong, and that's not why these little things waggle, well, That's why this show is called The Vintage Newbie and not The Vintage Motherfucking Expert up in this bitch. So, there you go. No false advertising here, folks. The grills are in pretty good condition. No rips or tears. The badge is in pretty nice shape. No little snags or anything. Happy about that. So this is the port to make it nice and bassy. It's got a 4-inch tweeter right there. From what I looked up, that's what it said. So I guess they're taking in this surround, because I mean this is only like about 2 inches right there. It's got an 8-inch woofer that seems to be in good shape as far as the surrounds go. I think that's a paper cone. But yeah, these surrounds feel like they're in really good shape, even though they're like 42 years old. Pretty happy about that. Now, these are 8 ohm speakers. They have a minimum 50 watts and a maximum of, minimum handling of 5 watts, maximum handling of 55 watts, which is fine with me, I'm guessing, since they're hooked up to a 45 watt per channel receiver. Now the frequency response, here's where it gets impressive, or maybe it doesn't, because I don't really know what these numbers mean. But the frequency response is 65 hertz to 20 kilohertz. What does that mean? Nobody knows. And they never will. So that's the front with the grill removed. Let's look at the back. Okay. And here it is, gang, because you demanded it. The rear of the speaker. As you can see, it's made in Japan. You got your positive terminal, your negative terminal, and there's also a way to plug RCA jacks if you have some older speakers with older speaker wire with RCA jacks on it. So 55 watts max, 1401, 8 ohms, and the catalog number. Put this little guy back in there, and we'll close it up and flip it around. Hey, remember me? Now, as you may or may not know, when it comes to vintage receivers and speakers, a kind of general rule of thumb is if it's heavy, it's good. But not always. But sometimes. Mostly. Now, these speakers that I've been showing and demonstrating and walking through for you today, they're not really all that heavy. They're not like super light, like, mega ultra cheapo speakers. But they're not super heavy either. Like, say, these guys. These JBL S26-2 bookshelf speakers that are roughly about the same size. They may even be a little bit smaller. So here's the Realistics right there. Doing everything in reverse. And here are the JBLs. Now these Realistics are a little bit more in front, pushed forward a tad. So that's going to mess with your perspective. Oh, look, my finger's the size of my head. And like that. But the JBLs are a lot heavier. But JBLs are also, super fancy, high-end in the mid-range of speakers. But they do sound good. The Realistics, that is, and the JBLs as well, which we'll talk about it in another video. So stick around, gang. But as for now, let me see if I can kind of do a little A/B on the speakers so you can hear the difference between the realistic MC-1401s and the JBLs. Pardon me, just a sec. JBLs. Realistics. JBLs. Realistics.
Alt 92.3.
What could it be? Realistics. JBLs. But it's just a little vocal part, so it's kind of hard to tell. So anyway, there's a little bit of that. When I played these for my daughter, she said the JBLs sound like they're a better build, but the realistics sound louder, which was actually a fairly accurate description and doesn't really take away from either speaker. The JBLs do have kind of a more full bass sound, but the realistics are a tad bit clearer and louder. The winner? The listener. Because yeah, each one are good, and I switch back and forth between the two, and I'm happy with them. So I am also happy with you for sticking around for another thrilling episode of the Vintage Newbie. Hope you have a happy new year, or are having a happy new year, depending on when I release this to the world. Today is New Year's Eve, so maybe I will publish this tomorrow. So I hope you had a happy New Year's Eve and a great welcoming into the new year of 2020 something. Have a blessed day.